I just like jumping on things and killing them.
Hello everyone, my name is Gavin Strange. Welcome to the stream. It is Tuesday, the something or other of September. It is relatively not warm, not cold. It's somewhere in the middle. I hope you're all right. I'm doing all right. This week so far is pretty busy. Going to be a busy week doing stuff at work, and then in my own time I'm really busy finishing off, starting to animate on this film commission that I've been doing and been streaming as well. So that's going good. Me and my buddy Signal Noise are joining the world of crypto art on Thursday as well, launching our first piece thanks to Known Origin. So we're deep in the world of blockchain technology and crypto art and all of that good stuff. So that's really fun and weird and wonderful and exciting. So stay tuned for that. And other than that, just keeping busy. Loads to do, odds and sods. How are you lot? What's going on with you lovely people in the chat? What you up to? What you doing? Anything fun? Anything interesting? We're already talking about geeking out about lots of different fun facts about the world of retro games, and that is what I want to share today. I've always been sort of influenced and inspired by the world of video games, and especially when I was younger, we didn't have games consoles growing up because they were super expensive, and I just lived vicariously through the world of CVG magazine, computers and video games, and would spend all my pocket money to get a copy of the magazine and would just pore over these pages of low-res screenshots and promo posters that you would sometimes get with it. I've just got vivid memories of getting a Street Fighter 2 poster and just thinking it was a work of art and I had to protect it at all costs. So it's really nice to just to sort of pay homage to a lot of that stuff. And funnily enough, some of the games that I'm going to show today, definitely I'm still influenced and referenced to this day. There's a project that I did a film for about the work of Maya Angelou a few years ago, and it was a total homage to a lot of it with Street Fighter Alpha 3 and the transitions and the movements and the animation and all the good stuff. So we're gonna get into all of that. Hello to everyone in the chat. Let's Brock. Hello. Red Glove Rider. Hello, hello, hello. Indigo Trance. Hello, hello. Golden Fortress. Hello. Jonathan. Hello. It's nice to have you all here. I hope you're all well. Designed by Jake is here. Hello, Jake. How are you doing? Hope you're good. So what I'm going to do, watcher, what I'm going to do is we're going to go through, let's jump over to the main thing. So I have this thing. I have this arcade stick that has about 800 games on it, basically. And rather than showing you some images, I want to actually show you some of the games that have really inspired me. And as I'm sure, as I'm going through this mega list, there's going to be loads of games that you lovely lot are like, that! Play that. So what I'll do is I'll go through my choice selection of games first, and then if there's anything that you lot spot, then definitely we'll go back through and have a look and have a play. And there's so many games on here that I have never ever played in my entire life ever, so it's going to be new to me. And I mean, a lot of these as well were arcade games, and it's funny that it's moving on to Metal Slug now, because that's a game I'm definitely gonna show, because the Neo Geo and this world of expensive arcade cabinets, I was born in '82, so a lot of these games I only knew of in arcades, and didn't my first console was a Master System, and then I don't think I had anything else until I bought myself a PlayStation, because again, they were really expensive. So I was always fascinated by this world, particularly Neo Geo, but I think because they were so unbelievably expensive, they were this rare phantom thing that you had to work really hard to get hold of. So Metal Slug was one of those games. I think that was on Neo Geo, or at the very least it was in arcades. And even in arcades, I couldn't play them. I'd maybe ask my parents and they'd give me a quid, and that'd be it. You know, and that was it. They wouldn't just keep giving me cash to pump in, so I had to really carefully choose what I was going to play. So I wasn't a kid that could spend all the time in the arcades. I really wanted to, but I didn't. My parents wouldn't just give me the cash, so they were just even more. This is why I'm sort of so obsessed by games now, because I just never had the chance to actually have them, play with them, just get my hands on them, really. So they're still this mythical special thing. So what I'm going to do, actually, first of all, I'll jump to the intermission, but I'm just going to show you what I'm playing on so you can see. Hang on. That's what it is. It's this big old arcade stick. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start at the top, and one of them is, well, first of all, I think Indigo Trance knows more about these than I do. I don't know the difference between Street Fighter Alpha 3 and Street Fighter 03. They look very, very similar. I'm sure there were different additions, different tweaks, but I can't remember which one it is that I love. I mean, look, they look exactly the same. Let's go with 03. I just love the graphic design in this is so contemporary.
Street Fighter 03.
I just love... Oh, here we go, straight away. Indigo Trance knows everything. Alpha 3 is the international version. 03 is a Japanese version. There we go. We're all learning. Thanks, Indigo Trance. That is awesome. Alpha 3 upper / 03 upper was a later iteration. I also love that, right? I love how the hyperbole and the ridiculousness of the naming convention to specifically fighting games like Super Street Fighter Championship Ultra Hyper Edition. I love all these extra layers. I just find it fascinating that as a naming convention is mad, but I really like it. I just like just adding more and more words onto it. Just makes it really fun. I really, really like it. Indigo Trance in the chat says, if you get to Windjammers, you'll probably hear me cheering all the way from where you're at. You never know. W is a long way away. Right, let's have a go.
Select your character.
I just love, like, there's the scrolling text at the top, like faster stuff, and then the slower stuff underneath. I mean, I use that. I mean, here you go. I've got a scrolling ticker tape on my screen right now. I'm just sort of, I just love this style, like all this Xism, Zism. I just kind of, the graphic design is banging, and all of these transition screens. There you go, more scrolling text. Yeah, I'm also not very good at. I'm actually not even very good at. I'm terrible at all these games. Just look at all this design. I mean, all right, guys, chill out the boobs. Just these transitions, man.
It all depends
So
on
good,
your
look at all that.
Go
Look
for
at all of
broke.
those pieces of text and all that stuff. It's so good. I don't know what they are. Just look at it, the UI design, the colours. You've got like yellow and green and blue and hot pink. It's visual overload. It's absolute visual overload, and that's what I love about it. Like seeing this in an arcade must have been absolutely amazing. So good. Indigo Trance says, my favourite master quote in Alpha 3 is, go for it, man. I know, I just love the sort of how over the top all of it is. It's so good. I'm sure there's some like double tap press, something like that. That's all the buttons. Shut up. Did I actually win from button mashing? Look at all this text. I mean, the text has been really smoothed off. I think this is how these arcade sticks work. They do this sort of like pixel smoothing, which is a real shame. I just want the pixels to be. I don't care if they're not rounded. So it's not a proper accurate representation. Just love it. Just love the movement and sort of, you know, you can see it in the work of Edgar Wright as well, and things like Scott Pilgrim as well. Obviously, they're all massively video game influence. It's just so good. Kevin Scully says, I grew up as a Ryu man, but in 4 I made the switch to Ken, never looked back. I don't know why I picked this person. Karen? I picked a Karen. Oh my god. How do I do this quickly? There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. And again, button mashing. Helian's Gate, bit late to this, but there are 2 iterations of the original Neo Geo. MVS is the arcade, and AES is the home version. Known Origin is a chat. Hello, Known Origin. David, I was just talking about you launching the drop. So yeah, so this is Street Fighter Alpha 3, and I just love it. I mean, look at those colours, look at the movement, the animation, all of this shung, shung, shung. Oh, I love it. It just speaks to me. I mean, hopefully you can see the inspiration in the stream as well, just all the transitions and all of the movements and things like that. Awesome. Right, I'm going to go back to another game. I could spend all day on this. But then the same sort of style is on Marvel vs. Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom. Just all of this. I think these video games in just in and of themselves are just really quick.
Marvel vs. Capcom!
just everything's an announcement, I guess. And this is why me and Signal Noise, James, sort of are just brothers from another mother. We just love this, I guess, this era of everything's over the top. Everything is just big and bonkers and crazy over the top. Known Origin in the chat says, what are you playing this on? I am playing this, David, on an arcade stick that has 800 games on it. I think they're just called arcade sticks. I can't, you can find them all over the shop. They're about 200 quid. But they're great. They're really good fun. I changed my buttons out for Japanese Sanwa buttons, so they're a bit more authentic or arcadey. The 2-player stick isn't, but the left player stick is. Just the animation as well, it's just lush. It's always just really taken with, who should I be? I think this is one where you can just pick different people. Someone said, right. Ryan Spider-Man, why not? And a special partner of Anita. That's how he is. Turbo. All of this, like, everything flashes, everything moves. Just both the graphic design stuff, but just the animation is just... Indigo Trant says this game is pure serotonin. Absolutely. Just, I mean, look at it. There's so much to see. The sort of blue light is amazing. Just the bonkersness. I think I just love... How do I get my face? That! I love this, like... I'm still playing. A pause for sort of like done this crazy boss move, this sort of power move. I just love all of it. It's so good. It's just sort of, this is how my brain works. Hey, there we go. Spider-Man. You just double Spider-Man. I'm just obsessed. Oh, is the volume pretty loud? No, thanks, Kevin. I will dip that down a bit. How's that? Is that better? Volume better now? I can dip it even more if you need to. I did another KO from button mashing. Indigo Trance in the chat says the coolest thing about the super move backgrounds is it's all just one frame and the animation comes cycling through colour values. Yeah, I think it's actually really, really simple just how kind of those tricks really just to make it like feel energetic and have just so much stuff going on. I absolutely love it.
Ready.
Just look at all of this. This is, I mean, how old is this game? 25 years or something like that? And it's just absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love it. Right, let's play something else. So yeah, so fighting games are just I love the intensity and the boldness and the just brilliant things. Wicked Skinny in the chat. Hey, Wicked Skinny, thanks for dropping by. The Capcom art books are some of the most flipped through books in my collection. Absolutely love their style. Oh, amazing. Oh, can you send us some links in the chat? It'd be awesome to see any Capcom books that you recommend. I'd love to see that. I can't not reference Moonwalker. I remember at the time it's just I mean still what is going on? I don't know. it's just, was this one of the first times that, I don't know what buttons are. I mean, was this the first time, because Moonwalker was a kind of crazy short film as well, right? But then it was an arcade tie-in as well. I can't remember. I'm sure people will know that. Oh, people will know the genesis of this. It's just bonkers. But just to, you know, this was the first time. Definitely me as a kid was. There's Bubbles the monkey. Okay. There was, you know, I'd seen a movie and a pop star and a video game. Hello. Michael's a robot now. Oh my day, this is amazing. Can I help this person? Hello. Oh my god. I mean, this is such an insane ego trip, isn't it? This is the work of a madman. But again, you know, with hindsight now, obviously this would never exist. But back then, when Michael was the most famous person on the planet, it was just like, yeah, of course, every kid wants to play this. Revive the Night says, I love this game. They released a side scroller too, but this one has always been my favourite. Do the dance. How do I do the dance? I'm rescuing people. Where am I going? Where's she off to? Is that it? Round one. Okay. How do I do the dance? What's happening now? But this is the thing. I never got to play any late levels in any arcade games because, like I say, my pound would run out, my quid would run out, my dad wouldn't give me any more. How do I do the dance? Oh! The buddies dance as well. This is actually insane, isn't it? This game is insane. I mean, I really like the isometric sort of 3D thing. Oh, Michael's shot. Don't worry, guys, I'm back. Let's do a dance. This is amazing. This is the thing. There's so many games on this stick that I haven't played for a long time. Anyway, I'm not going to get stuck on this because I could just end up playing this. This isn't a game. This isn't a game stream. I want to be sharing my aesthetic and artistic influences. This is more just sort of stuck in my brain for the power of a mad thing and what it is, and also just how great are these colours as well. The tones as well, so nice. I wish you could do that in Call of Duty. Says Reg Love Rider. I know. I would totally be down. More games need dance sequences. Oh, I've run out of dances. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave you on that dance. Yeah, you tell him, Michael. So there we go. What was it called? Moonwalker. That's bonkers. So there's some of my favourites. One of the favourites that's always stuck with me is this Guru Mark of the Wolves. Reg Love Rider says, do the bad guys dance with you? Yeah, they did. It was super weird. Everyone stopped for a dance break. Yeah, I think I played this on the PlayStation at some point, but I just remember being stunned by the animation and the design of the characters. I mean, I love fighting game stereotypes. They're just so ridiculous and over the top. I'm going, this guy, look at these little crop tops. I'm into that. Top set. And all of these mechanics that video games have. Yes. Freeman. Terry. Imagine being a fighter called Terry. Come on, Tez. Let's have a scrap. I do remember just really loving the sort of the animation. I used to try as hard as I could when the internet first sort of came around to try and find like animation loops and small gifs, because just the effects and the fluidity of all stuff is amazing. What's going on now? You know, this sort of aesthetically, like I love the over-the-top stuff of Street Fighter and Capcom and all that mad stuff. You know, the UI is quite restrained, but I do remember loving the animation. Just fascinated by it. Oh, thank you to Wicked Skinny in the chat, posting a link to some Capcom design books. Alright, that's enough of that. We need to move on. What else we got? Right, what else we got? So there's loads and loads of fighting video games, and like I say, we'll come back around if there's time, and if there's anything that you lovely lot want to shout out at. Metal Slug. Now, yeah, like I say, this was just... I love how detailed the animation is on all of these sprites. It's absolutely bonkers. I mean, pick one. Let's pick Metal Slug X. I don't know the difference between any of them, and it seems like loads and loads of them. They're just they must have just done great guns in the arcade. But I remember just being obsessed with the animation and the you know, how much detail you get in this tiny little thing.
Mission 1, start.
The attention to detail, especially sort of when all the characters would fall over and die and all of that.
Thank you.
It's just, and I think when you've got different levels as well.
Heavy machine gun.
I mean, this is just insane as well. And for the first time ever, I actually completed a few Metal Slug games because, again, I didn't have to keep putting in the pound in the arcades. Just the fluidity of it all. For again, was this, people know the Neo Geo and the hardware that was on, was this because it was on a better system, or is it just incredible animators who were very, very gifted at SNK? I think it's SNK who made these games. What's this? Oh yeah, Lobs and Buns. It's just the background and the details as well. You know, not having access to this, and especially not on the Master System when I did have that console, just couldn't see graphics like this, and so it just sort of really inspired me. And I think I was always trying to draw. I'm not really paying attention. Always trying to draw from this sort of style and just do really detailed characters. It really influenced me. Well, Indigo Translation and Natsuka made Metal Slug, but SNK bought them out. Oh, okay. And there's a great video explaining how sub-pixel animation works in Metal Slug. Ah, is that the trick then? Is that how it looks so smooth and fluid? Sub-pixel animation. Just, you know, details, just bonkers. And also, just the continuation of just how bonkers all of this stuff is as well. It's not like this is a simple thing. There's a lot happening at any one time. All of it. Crazy bonkers. And I think that's what really stuck with me. Just this really over the top, really OTT sort of visual style. I guess that's a thread running through all of it. Really. Oh, hello, straight. You can just jump on a camel. Alright, yeah, there we go. Of course, it's a camel that fires lasers. I mean, you even get some slowdown here on this machine. I don't know if that's the ROM or how the machine's working, but yeah, it's kind of crazy just how this baby then. And look, just that really beautiful animation of that baby just rolling over. Gorgeous animation in such a tiny thing. Come on, baby. Anyway, Metal Slug, all of the Metal Slug games are just stunning. They just all have that really detailed, really OTT sort of look, and like the mechs as well, and the amount of detail was awesome. So basically, you can file any Metal Slug under the, oh my god, I love it, but I saw it from such a difference sort of thing. What else we got on here? More fighting games. Definitely, I mean, all of them are awesome, but I am definitely hunting for a specific set. You know, and sort of the collab crossovers as well of X-Men and Capcom and Marvel and stuff was, I think, passed a lot of people by. Everyone talks about the collabs and the crossovers now, but back then in the arcades there was some awesome crossovers, and sort of seeing these two words come together is amazing. Oh, check raised onk. Oh, hi Gav, lovely work. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for stopping by. We are just all geeking out on the awesome bonkersness of retro arcade video games from back in the day. So forgive us as we're just geeking out. I mean, just all of these different ones. Ah, this is what I want to play. Well, I can't play this. This, for some reason, on this arcade stick, this plays back super slow. So I'll just let the demo play through itself. But like so many people, Mortal Kombat was just this mind-blowing event. The music, the style, of course, the digitized photographic style was like nothing I'd ever seen before. The playground, I love it. The playground sort of rumors of so and so got Mortal Kombat. Have you played it? Have you seen it? Have you done fatalities? You know, all of this just played into to just this sort of mystery thing that everyone wanted to play. And yeah, I think I went over to play at a friend's house who had a Mega Drive. That was where I played it on a friend's Mega Drive, and it was just like nothing else I'd ever seen. And the design and the movie, we've talked about the movie before on previous streams, it's just bonkers. And in that new documentary, High Score, they talk about Mortal Kombat a little bit. But I mean, look at it. I love the style now. I think it's amazing. It works really, really well. In the documentary, they do talk about how kind of ghetto that they had to kind of figure it out how to do this digitized style. You know, they had a clue, but it was very much working out on as they sort of go on, sort of thing. What is that? What's going on there? But yeah, Mortal Kombat was just always just something just out there. And I bought Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch a few weeks ago, but I can't download it because I don't want to delete Animal Crossing, and there's not enough space. It's such a massive download that I've sort of got it queued to install, but I haven't got the space to do it. So I've sort of always been a fan of Mortal Kombat, and Mortal Kombat 2 and 3, as they got more bonkers and more colourful, and the things like the babalities and the animalities and all of that good stuff was awesome. And then the next one in this list here, the WWF Superstars, just getting that bonkers over the top. Who should it be? Oh, what? I didn't press that. Did I press that? Oh, I pressed that. I love it. I think this was. Oh, I didn't want to be Honky Tonk. What is that? Even this is really, really sort of slow, but just sort of seeing this colourful world and sort of seeing how it was represented. You know, when you saw this lighting up in the arcades. And obviously now the controls are so sluggish, and if you could tag, I can't remember how you tag someone in. Like, it just always felt like a bit of an accident. If you could land a punch, or like in NBA Jam, if you could kind of do a dunk, the controls were so sluggish. It's kind of hard to have that instant feedback. You kind of take it for granted just how tactile and sort of instant everything is now. But still, as a kid or just playing this, you were just like, this is the best thing ever. Wicked Skinny in the chat says, I live in a small town and one of the grocery stores got a Mortal Kombat game and the line of kids for that was longer than the checkout line. I'm not surprised. It was just this mythical thing, and parents also didn't get it, so they didn't know that you were just fighting your friends and ripping spines out and spearing them and uppercutting them and stuff. It was like this special code that you had. And Wicked Skinny asks, how does your son like these type of old school games? He's not really interested. I've taken this arcade stick downstairs a few times, but I don't think it's as tactile. I don't think it's as instant for him. So there's nothing that he's found. We're really into playing Short Hike on the Switch. He loves Mario Kart. He's just got into Tony Hawk's. We played Tony Hawk Pro Skater together, the new one. But yeah, funnily enough, he just doesn't connect. He doesn't connect sort of with these, I think, because they're just not as clear. And obviously there's a lot of modern games, there's loads of accessibility settings. So Mario Kart is amazing. If you do have young kids, press pause when you're in the game, turn on smart steering, turn on auto accelerate, and turn on, I can't remember what the other one is, but it means that I can give him the stick and the controller, and we can play together, and he doesn't have to worry about driving off or not being able to do it. He doesn't need that instant connection that we do. He can just sort of hold the controller and play when he wants, and it's great. So, massive props to Nintendo for doing all of that. In the chat, Plastic and Plush. Hey, Plastic and Plush says, how old is your son? He's 3.5, and he'll be 4 in February. And so he's really becoming aware. He really loves games, but because there are so many good games for us to play together, it's lovely. It's a really nice experience. It's a real shared thing, and he's getting really good at problem solving as well, and identifying that, oh, okay, you need to do this, or you need to do that. I'm a big advocate for him playing games. Like anything, it's all balanced, but he only plays when we play together, so that's really nice. Tyson in the chat, hi! Going back to Hawks is another example of game design making failing enjoyable. Yeah. So if you want to go back and keep trying, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I actually think I might turn on some of the sort of accessibility things in Tony Hawk's as well, maybe where you can't bail and where you can auto balance, and sort of give that to Sully, because in the minute he can press Ollie and he sort of moves the thumbstick to just do 180s and 360s, but you know he can't, he's not got the dexterity to press Ollie and then, you know, triangle to grind or to do a flip trick. So that's a bit too much for him, you know, quick button presses. But maybe, you know, using those accessibility settings, it'll be a bit of a godsend, really. A bit of a godsend. I think it's time for an intermission with some arcade sounds. Silly little interlude, not that smooth, that one. I had to unplug the the arcade stick to put this thing in. Catching up on the chat, Indigo Trant says, "What's that pocket operator?" Yes, you're right, Bell13. It is the PO20. That one, little arcade 8-bit sounds. I thought it was appropriate to make a little beat on that and play that on our little lunchtime. Plastic and Plush in the chat says, I agree, I have two sons, 8 and 10, and they've been playing video games for years. My older son now helps my wife with computer issues. Amazing. That's so good. And Red Glove Rider says, this reminds me of when Charlie Brooker went on Desert Island Disc and chose the arcade music for Robocop as one of his tracks. Oh man, I miss that. That'd be amazing. I love Charlie Brooker on anything. I definitely have to search that out. Nice one. Nice one. Right, what else? What else is there? Let me check I've not gone by anything. Yeah, definitely Mortal Kombat, Superstars. We're getting into, I mean, this is just a special shout out to Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Only because I saw this recently. I probably would have saw it during when it was out, maybe in arcade sticks. But I just love how bonkers it is. I like these kind of mad worlds that all. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, drive Cadillacs, fight dinosaurs. I love the kind of bonkersness, but still, you know, the art there is beautiful. It's really cool. I kind of love all this exposition at the start of a game. I think I just love the. Yeah, I love how big pterodactyl. I never played it. I don't actually know anything about it, but I know it looks awesome. It's basically Streets of Rage with dinosaurs, isn't it? That's what it is. Oh, I've got all these buttons and I don't know anything. Is that it? You can only punch. Oh, but yeah, I just love the ridiculousness of that. Cadillacs and dinosaurs. What's not to love? I'm definitely looking for a specific. Hey, this bad boy. The Simpsons, the 4-player arcade Simpsons, always stuck out at an arcade cabinet. It just was something else. It just felt really authentic. But it was, you know, it was like a really authentic world of you were playing The Simpsons. I think that's what was so good about it. You know, sort of TV/. I mean, what's happened to their eyes? And to answer your question, Ragnar, yes, there's definitely some pixels moving going on, which is, I think, making this look a bit weird. But yeah, this was just this great, sort of colourful, like proper authentic experience, wasn't it? You know, games, TV to game, game to TV is still a little bit ropey. I'm not quite sure why they don't work. I haven't watched The Witcher and I haven't played The Witcher, so I can't comment. But I remember playing this in the arcade and I loved The Simpsons, again because I couldn't have it. We didn't have Sky, but it was on BBC Two, so it was this thing that I could only watch once a week. Oh, Indigo Transfers had a brief release on the PS3 and 360. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just remember these massive 4-player arcade cabinets were awesome. How's the volume? Is it a bit too loud? There we go. It was just great. It's also great having infinite credits to not worry about money. It's a little bit loud. I'll drop it down. Thank you very much. There we go. How's that? We only need a bit of background noise. But yeah, this always was a big influence, and I was always trying to draw Bart and just any Simpsons. I was always trying to draw Sonic and the Simpsons. I mean, look at that. That's barely illegible. Neon pink with a green outline. Can't read it, but it doesn't matter. Imagine how that looks on those glowing CRT screens in the arcade. So good. So good. So yeah, Simpsons was a really big, like exciting draw for me, just because of what it represented. Indigo Trance says there's something about the Q Sound hardware. What is the Q Sound hardware, Indigo Trance? You know many things about arcades. I like it. Bell13 says, I remember playing Simpsons, X-Men and Turtles 4-player at my local cinema back in the day. Yeah. Any Ninja Turtles. That's what I'm trying to find next. Known origin. There's Simpsons. Oh, can't not reference Golden Axe, mainly because how ridiculous the key artwork is. I also love that the FBI had screens in front of games. Why not? Little dwarf guy, come on. My guy. I just love that the sound's so good as well. Come on. Oh, did I just use my thing? That's always the thing. If the A button was, it's like Streets of Rage when you press A on the Mega Drive and you'd use up your police rocket thingy. Oh, Red Glove Rider says, what was that massive 4-player game where you were a wizard, barbarian, dwarf? Something Gauntlet. Can't remember. But yeah, the sound on this is so good. The sound mixing on this is terrible. It's either really quiet or really... I mean, I just love that they just have the same sprite and they would just recolor it as well. I love all of the tricks of... and like Streets of Rage, all of the characters are exactly the same. You know, and you fight 1,800 clones. And there was a question earlier, have I played the new Streets of Rage? I haven't. No, I haven't. I love Streets of Rage, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure why. And do you remember this? You just assault some small little imps and they give you some things. What's going on with the sound? Of course, there's a big bird there. Yeah, this just this kind of like action-y RPG fighting game thing it's just been ingrained in me, and just the sound effects as well. And it's all a bit slow and it's a bit cranky. Love it. Yeah, special shout out to Golden Axe. What am I trying to find? Ghouls and Ghosts. Special shout out to Ghouls and Ghosts. I didn't play it a lot, but I do remember that being in my brain. Keep your eyes peeled, because I will come back to any of these, because I think someone was asking about Alien vs Predator, but there it is. Was it this RoboCop game? Was this I don't think I've ever played this RoboCop game. I'm not quite sure. I'll come back to that. I'm trying to find, of course, the Turtles game. Look, we're only on page 17 of 82. This is how many games this arcade stick. Plastic and Plush says, have you seen the arcade 1-up machines? No, I haven't. I don't know what that is. But that sounds good. Shinobi, I remember playing that on the Mega Drive. Was it Mega Drive? Yeah, I think it was Mega Drive. Come on, where's Turtles? Double Dragon. I remember playing Double Dragon on the NES. And that was really a really basic looking version. But I don't think I played any of the features. No search feature. It says no in Origin. Absolutely not. No. It's quite good though. You just have to scroll through the pages. It's quite nice because it forces you to look for different games. Where are Turtles? See, Metal Slug Plus. What does the plus mean? I think sometimes as well there's all these different ROMs included on the arcade cabinet, so I'm not entirely sure. There we go. Yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was obsessed with Turtles as a kid. Always wanted the toys. Just loved the cartoons. It was my jam. So seeing this again glowing in an arcade was so exciting. Cowabunga! Who are we gonna be? Let's be Michelangelo, shall we?
Hang on, April.
Hang on, April. Oh, the Plus versions of Neo Geo games are usually bootlegs. There we go. Thanks, Indigo Trance. You're a font of knowledge today. Thank you. Oh man, this was all 4-player, wasn't it? Oh no. Hang on. Come on. I haven't played this in years. Where's the fight button? Oh, there. The animation here is pretty smooth as well. It's really good. Get off me. I think just the flipping heck. Weird old games are a thing of mine, says Indigo Trance. I should show my Super Famicom tournament setup sometime. Yes, you should. That sounds amazing. Absolutely, yes, you should. Super Famicom tournament setup. I love all those words. I love the fact that you've called it Super Famicom as well. That means you're authentic. Yeah, the animation is pretty fluid. This must have been huge. I remember all the kids wanted to play this game. And this was the peak of Turtles, right? But just again, the colours and the animation are great. I wish the pixels moving. I've tried. You can't turn it off. I guess it's a thing of the emulation. You can't. I would prefer if it just gave you the option to blow the pixels up big. I like seeing weird pixelated things. The music as well is great on this game. I think that's why I love the Teenage Engineering Pocket Operator. I want to make music like that. I kind of just hark back to the days of kind of crackware intros on the Amiga and the arcades, and sort of I'm just trying to make stuff that's like that. Funnily enough, talking about Known Origin, I've got my first crypto art drop on Thursday, but I definitely making artwork that exists on blockchain you know, I definitely kind of want to be a bit more experimental, and I think there's different techniques and styles that I want to use to sort of make sort of pixelated style stuff, and kind of mixing this weird world of being experimental and being a bit arty and sort of harking back to the things that I love. So I'm excited to use crypto art as a sort of an excuse to make these unique one-off things. Right, we could play all these games for ages, couldn't we? Couldn't we? Ninja Turtles 2, obviously it's bigger and better. Aliens, I never played the Aliens game. I never played the Aliens game on PlayStation, you know, the really minimal, super hyper scary one. Oh, no, I did. I have played this a little bit. So, Indigo Trance says the summary is that there was a Sailor Moon fighting game for the Super Famicom, but it's actually pretty forward thinking for its time. I wanted my friends to play it, so I spent a lot of money buying adapter circuitry, and pre-lockdown I ran tournaments for it. No way, that's sick. What's going on here? I mean, I kind of really miss these side-scrolling, sort of mad, lovely coloured sort of things. I know there's a bit of a resurgence with sort of things like Streets of Rage and all of that, but just this kind of just picking up weapons. There was a great one, I'm sure there was a great one on the iOS. It was like Jetpack Joyride, maybe, was it? Is that a thing? Yeah, I remember that was sort of like really nice graphics, really over the top, pick up loads of weapons, just fun, just really, really fun and bright and silly and bold. I really like that. Jetpack Joyride. Okay, I'm not making that up. Good. That is what it is. That is what it is. There we go. Flamethrower. Just the sort of these. I guess that there was just the limitations of the hardware at the time. Just, I don't know. It's like everything though with rose tinted glasses, isn't it? You put a certain emotional. You put a certain emotional weight on it. But that's great. Well, that's what you can do. It's what you can do as a human. You can decide what you love and are excited by. What else am I looking for? I mean, there is millions and millions of games here that have influenced me. Check out Alien vs Predator. Have I gone by Alien vs Predator? Now I want a redo with bright pink aliens. Geiger would have loved it. I think you're right. If we would have made aliens that bright and bold, for sure. Ah, no, not Rampage. I was getting confused. Rampage, not Rampage. It's the other one that I want to play that I do remember really, really loving in the arcades. Here's some more. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Second Strike. Indigo Trance, you will know more than us. What are these, just different iterations? I mean, again, the graphic design here is lush. I think it's just because it's got hot pink in the logo. That's what I'm all about. But it's just, again, over the top and just a bit bonkers. And look at that. Oh, now you're talking. Pink to yellow to white. Fade. Loads of typography. Oh, hang on. Street Fighter 3 Second Impact Giant Attack. Yes, of course. I love that they just keep inventing the styles. Keep changing it up. It still feels fresh and different. Oh, Indigo Trance has just put a link. You can view all Street Fighter 3 animations here. Now you're talking.
You win.
Yeah, I sort of just love this. I just love this style. I think it's just a sort of, that's where my love for animation came from, really. Just seeing the sort of beautiful pixel sprites and how they moved. Oh, shout out to Aaron for the subscription. Thank you so much, Aaron. You're a star. Thank you. Always very, very much appreciated. Thank you very much. But yeah, my sort of love for colours and animation and fast things and movement and all of that just is ace. Oh, Bell says, does your Pandora's box have a setting for quality optimizations? If so, turn it off. Shall I do that right now? What does that do, Bell? That's not going to turn off pixel smoothing, is it? Or is it? Is it? Let's look. Let's look. Can we do it live on the chat? Can we make it look a bit better? There's a special button at the back. You have to press a special little button. Okay. Save and reboot. Save and reboot. Let's see what that does. Where were we? We were like, oh God. This is the other thing you have to. Come on, I'm trying to find. What I'm trying to find is we've not got long left. I want to find Syndicate. That made me Alien Syndrome, but that made me think of Syndicate. Do you remember Syndicate? That was a great game. That was awesome. Not this, no. They've sort of grouped games by their different sort of. This is like platformy, puzzly things. Not Rampage. It is King of Monsters. That's what I'm trying to find. King of Monsters. Oh, here we go. Here's all the iterations. Hyper. I love it. Hyper Street Fighter Anniversary Edition. Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2. What is T? Turbo. Super Street Fighter. I love it. I keep one of my things that I want to do is make a collected album of my musical beat stuff, and I keep thinking I want to call it something like Hyper Edition or Championship Edition. Like I just love the idea of all of these. I don't know, the super, add super on the front, super, hyper, champion, mega. It's just fun, it's just silly, it's over the top. Are these all bootlegs then? Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting. Rainbow set. Yeah, they all sound like, what are all these? Red Wave. Anyone know what any of these are? Not a sausage. Let's have a look at this. You know, Street Fighter 2... Rainbow is a bootleg. Okay, blah 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 blah. Oh, it looks like the smoothing's still on. Unfortunately, Rainbow is the bootleg. Says Indigo Trance. Okay. What does Rainbow? What does it even mean? Extra stuff? New stuff? Oh yeah, it's not turned off the. It's funny sort of playing the original number 2. It's actually quite slow, isn't it? You get used to sort of hyper fighting and turbo fighting. But again, the high score documentary was great. It was great talking about the sort of genesis of Street Fighter and how that came about and all of that stuff. It was awesome. Oh, Helian's Gate says you can do fireballs in the air and diagonally. Nice. I am an admirer from far of fighting video games, but and I'm also rubbish at them, but I love them. I really like how they sort of play and act and move, if you can't tell, because that's all I'm talking about. But yeah, I've just never been any good at it. Like skateboarding, I love it, I'm no good at it. But that is not what I'm trying to... Here we go, King of Monsters. Let's have 2. Yeah, I just remember this just being this big, colourful thing, and I think this was exciting because you could smash stuff up. You could, and I've not really seen that in a game that I'd played before, where you could directly impact your environment. It was just awesome because I don't know, it felt truly interactive. And, you know, it wasn't side scroll. I mean, it is side scrolling to a degree, but I don't know, just all of this sort of. I don't know, I just loved it. It just felt like I could go anywhere and do anything. It's like when games started opening up, right, and you could go down different routes. It just felt really like mind-blowing to me. I mean, we're still constrained. Is that the White House? Let's smash that right up. Is that the White House? I like the fact the White House is right next to a rocket launch station. But again, it was all just a lot of button mashing. That's all I remember. You know, we're so lucky now with haptic feedback and gyroscopes and all of that stuff and everything. You know, the delicacy of a thumbstick and the micro. What's happening now? The micro adjustments that you can make, especially in games that need it. Whereas this is just sort of like stomp, stomp, stomp. That's why I love arcade sticks. I just would happily collect arcade sticks. Really, that's why I love this thing. It's just nice to, I don't know, I love the tactility, I love the crunch of it. Oh, we're nearly out of time, Let's pick one more to find. Fatal Fury, I always remember the animation of that. These were also SNK or Neo Geo games, weren't they, with Fatal Fury? Am I thinking Final Fight? But either way, just was always blown away by the the animation and the fluidity of it all. It was awesome. And having this arcade stick is Art of Fighting. Great shout, Helion's Gate. Of just how many games I have never heard of, I've never seen, and I have no idea what they are. Oh, and then of course we move on to the classic. Maybe I will end with this bad boy. R-Type, and I'm sort of fascinated by bullet hell, which was a genre that I only in the last few years really understood and didn't realise there's this whole subculture of people making bullet hell games. Because again, I just love how over the top it is. And R-Type is relatively kind of simple. But just remember just trying over and over and over and over to win these types of games, and I kind of miss them. I miss these sort of side-scrolling games as well. Maybe it is nostalgia. I'm not quite sure, but I just love the colours. I can't remember what it is. There is a bullet hell game that I have no idea what the title is, and it was like the points were in the billions, and the screen is just full at any one time. It actually gives me a headache looking at it, and I think also it's vertical. I'd love to remember what it was called. It's a modern game, but it was just crazy, and I'm sort of fascinated in this, just super OTT, just really intense sort of video games. It's like this real fringe thing. It's like the sort of music that I love, like things like Nails and Trap Them, and like the, really extreme bands that sort of have their fans, have their niches that are difficult to listen to. These games are difficult to play. I love that they still operate. They might not be as commercially successful as making a Call of Duty game, but they exist and they're there, and they're pieces of art and they're reflections of what people want to make. I think that's super, 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 super cool. Very, very cool. Long may it continue. So yeah, if anyone has any recommendations for kind of games to check out or any of that, then please do leave them in the chat. That would be awesome, because I think it is time for his lovely lot to go. Hang on. Thanks so much. Reviver Knight has a great point. This stream would have cost you 349 quid in the arcade. Absolutely would have. I would be broke. I would need the subscriptions to help us play the actual game. So thank you so much for sticking with us. It's always really fun to go down some visual inspirations. Hopefully it's brightened up your lunchtime. I'll be streaming again on Thursday, and this Thursday I'm going to be looking at Bike's Mind. It's a documentary film that a big group of us in Bristol made nearly 10 years ago, and it was a real sort of important film that meant a lot to me and opened up some great opportunities. And it's a crazy story of how it started as a 10-minute thing, just filming friends on bikes, and grew into this half-hour-long documentary that then led into big events riding around Bristol and police involvement. It was a bit of a bonkers thing, so I'm really excited to share that story. Hopefully maybe streaming tomorrow night as well, whilst I get my Genesis drop, my very first crypto art piece ready. If I can, I'll hopefully be streaming that. But yeah, definitely be streaming on Thursday. Thank you so much as always for everyone tuning in, giving up your lunch times. It's always awesome to see you. Thank you to everyone in the chat for being so chatty and for talking and sharing. It's always awesome. Have a cracking rest of your day, and hopefully see you lovely lot very soon. Bye bye. Have a good one. Cheers.